Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Southeastern High School here in Augusta as we're getting ready to bring you the JV portion of tonight's contest between the Sons of Southeastern and the visiting Q&D Raiders. John Burton on the call for you here tonight for the JV game. I'll be here for the varsity contest as well. Evan Wagner up and running the camera. The Southeastern Sons game stream is made possible to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales, with locations in Macomb and Augusta. And with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in, talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check their inventory. Okay, we appreciate everybody tuning in for tonight's contest. Had to rush to get down here. They moved the JV game up to a 5:30 start time. It's a little bit different than the 6 o'clock start time. And looking at my rosters right now, no JV roster for Q&D. I'll try to get that summed up between one of our breaks and see if I can get some of the players in on there for the Q&D roster. Again, we're kind of scrambling around trying to get things going here with the earlier start time. I just got off work in Macomb, rushed down here. So the game will start here. Q&D starts with the serve. This one set to the middle, tucked up over the block, and that one will drop down and home. First point of the game goes to Southeastern. Back serving, that's Morgan Wilcox. I believe she just picked up the kill in the front row, and she'll pick up an ace there. 2-0 Suns lead here early on in set number one. Once again, this is a pretty interesting matchup between two volleyball powerhouses, you could say. Definitely, at least in the varsity contest. Nice kill on the outside there by the Raiders. As they'll score their first side out of the game, they pick up a point. Suns still lead 2-1. Raiders now with the serve. That one dug up in the front row. Set to the outside. He pounds it through the blocks, and that'll be a kill for number 20, Kara Stevens. She picks up the big kill for the Southeastern side. Gets them back to side out. Brings back Tegan Rigg to serve. This one set to the outside for the Raiders. That one's going to be a little bit hard and out of bounds. Service point for Rigg. Suns are rolling here early on. This one tipped back, across the net. Phelps is there to dig it up. This one back over. Phelps will send the free ball through. This one set to the middle, tapped up over the blocks. A nice backside defense there. Quick set to the middle once again. Stevens on the attack, drops it down. Another point for the Suns. Again, I'll try to get this roster situation figured out between one of our breaks, maybe between sets. Go down and get the Q&D JV roster, and then we'll get those names brought to you shortly. That one's going to be another kill for Southeastern. They got the early 6-1 lead. Tegan Rigg still back serving. She served a couple here in a row. Another nice hard low serve will go off the arms of Q&D and out of bounds. That'll be another ace for Tegan Rigg. Suns lead by 6. Rigg back serving once again. A little bit of trouble on the Q&D side. That one's going to be bumped through by the libero. This one outside. Phelps on the attack. Off the blocks and down. Can't ask for a much better start. No timeout yet. Brewing on the Q&D side. Letting the troops roll through this one. Definitely facing a little bit of adversity early on. Southeastern's got the big lead. Another attack on the net will roll across the tape and fall down. Just what the Raiders ordered to slow down the momentum a little bit. They pick up the kill as the ball rolls down the net. Suns still lead 8-2. Nice serve there, dug up by Rigg. This one bump set to the outside for Phelps. Hits it down the far sideline, just past the block. That one tapped back through. This one's going to be reset to Phelps. One more try, tips this time. Dug up by Q&D, set to the middle, and nice play there in the middle for Q&D. Went up, took that one away from the blocks, dropped it down. It'll be a point for Q&D. The serve now, a little bit of a miss set there. Stevens is forced to send the free ball through. This one reset back, quick set to the middle for Stevens. Nicely dug up on the Raiders side. This one back to the outside once again. Stevens with the blocks. Phelps digs it up, and the dump will go down. And I don't think they have these rosters fixed from last time. So I believe that was Riley Smith. I believe 8 and 9 are switched on the rosters. That one popped up. Suns, Phelps sends the free ball through. That one, nice attack at the net. Nicely dug up by the Suns. Phelps sends the flat foot shot through. It's blocked at the net. Suns will scramble a little bit. Rigg pops it through. That one, nice attack there. It'll land inbounds. Brings us to 9-4 now. Q&D with the serve. This one, quick set for Stevens in the middle. Taps it up over the blocks and drops it down. Another side out, back Southeastern's way. They still have the 6-point advantage. I believe that's going to be Riley Smith checking in, number 9 for Southeastern. Serve from Stevens, dug up on the Raiders side. This one set out to the outside. Stevens is right there. That one going to be tried to dump over. Smith tried to pull it out of the net, and nobody called it on Southeastern. Ball falls side out back the Raiders' direction. Suns still got the Raiders doubled up 10-5. Again, a little bit earlier start time here in Augusta. I would imagine that the varsity game is going to be starting around that 6:30 point, about 30 minutes earlier than usual. And nice kill there. Rigg kind of got caught in between whether she wanted to bump it or set it. So make sure you get back here. I'll finish that thought. Make sure you get back here for the varsity game stream. Again, I think it's going to be on a little bit early. I will double check that, but do be expecting it. This one set to the middle, pounded down, nicely dug up by Stevens, but it hits the ceiling and falls back down. We got Manessa Berg in the chat saying, let's go Lady Suns. Again, if you are in the live chat, make sure, or I guess I should say, if you're in the YouTube section, get into the live chat. Love to hear from all of you. That one tipped up by Smith. Q&D's right there, reset to the outside. Rigg, one-hand dig attempt. Nothing to show for it. Suns lead cut all the way down to just 2. Q&D remains with the serve. It's Van Beck, sets it out for Smith, I believe, that sent that free ball over. This one back to the middle, Smith on the block. Van Beck tries to dig it up in the back row, but Stevens couldn't get to it in time. 9-10. Q&D threatening to tie this thing up. It would be the first tie since 0-0. Serve here. Rigg digs it up. Van Beck drops it through. Nice play there by Jalen Van Beck. Gets the side out back for Southeastern. Huge play there as the Raiders were looking to storm back into this one. We'll see what Southeastern can do to build back on this lead, and that's one way to start. Hard hit ball will go out of bounds. This one, Phelps, nice hard serve there, deep into the back row. Q&D scrambles a little bit. Free ball sent back through. Smith, Van Beck sets the rig on the outside, taps it over. Nicely played there by Q&D. Free ball sent back through. Stevens, Van Beck sets to the middle for Smith. But dug up by the Raiders. Back to the outside. Block comes. It's partially off. Nice dig up there by Stevens. Rig tips it back off the block and down. Nice play by Stevens in the back row there. Is able to get Rig the kill. Brings back Taylor Phelps to serve. Her serve will be inbounds. Service ace for Taylor Phelps. And the Lady Suns now have the 5-point lead. Q&D was threatening to kind of take control of this game. Another nice serve by Phelps. Raiders bumping onto the outside. Shot comes through. Stevens pops it up. Rig on the attack. Sent it down the near sideline and drops it home. And we will have our first timeout of the game. Suns lead 15-9. Again, you're listening to Sun Sports here on TSSR Game Time Live. Thank you for tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. This cover of Southeastern Suns Volleyball, brought to you by Mudd Insurance Group and the Grinnell Mutual. Contact Mudd Insurance today for all your home, auto, farm, commercial, life, health, and Medicare insurance needs, and live a life knowing you're covered. Looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Expert in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there's limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. They're going to call a double hit in the front row on the Raiders. So there'll be another point for the Suns. Suns really have taken control of this game, and besides a little bit of scared there towards the middle of this set, really just haven't looked back so far. Riggs sends a shot through. Might have spoke a little bit early. That one goes out of bounds. Raiders reach double digits. (16-10). Side out course back to Q&D, so they will serve. Smith sends the pass into the net. Back-to-back points for the Raiders, puts them up to 11. Another serve here. Smith, Van Beck tips it up, hits it off the blocks, and drops it home. Didn't really put much on that, but was able to just, tap it up over the, over the blocks. It falls home. Sat out Southeastern. They have the 6-point lead. That one tipped through towards the near sideline. Van Beck comes through, and they're called an illegal attack there. So it'll be a side out back the Raiders' way. 17-12. Looks like they're going to replay that last point. I was looking at the computer. I didn't quite catch what was being discussed. But a replay, though, brings us back to 17-11. Nice kill and dig there. A good attack, I should say. Nicely dug up by Stevens. Rigg now sends it back the other way. That one just punched through. Stevens digs another one up. Suns, Rigg down the far sideline, drops it down. Tegan Rigg gives the Suns a 7-point lead. They're up to 18. Serve here once again. One bump through and will fall down. So another point towards Southeastern. Nice serve here, a little bit of a missed pass. That's going to go out of bounds. Suns first team to 20. They have the 9-point lead over the Raiders. here in set number 1. Going to get things done early. That was a little bit of a wild serve. I think she might have just hit it off the side of her hand, kind of just tailed out of bounds. Be a side out Q&D nonetheless. 20-12 is the serve. Nice knuckle serve there. It's really easy to kind of see the movement on those serves when you're sitting up on the stage and watching them come right at you. And we'll see a net violation there on the Raiders side. And that movement in the serve is really hard to pick up, like on the camera where it's positioned right now. But like I said, when you're sitting up here on the stage and watching those things come at you, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not the most athletic person, but I don't think I could dig those up. Rigg on the attack here, sends it into the back row. This one, nice high set, pounded through. Phelps digs it up. Stevens comes to set Rigg once again. That one, nice shot there, goes off the backboard. So Suns have the 10-point lead, 22-12. That serve will go out of bounds. Wilcox with the service error. The side out Raiders direction. 22-13 is the score. That one, Wilcox sets it up to Jalen Van Beck. Stevens on the attack, big block in the middle. Overpass sent back through. Nice play by Wilcox. Played it while she was sitting on the ground. Nice attempt there, but the kill will go down for the Raiders. So Raiders now have the lead down to 8. If they're going to make a run to get back into this one, they're going to have to do things quickly. Suns threatening to run away with this one, but we see another service ace on the Raiders side. As Wilcox in the back row couldn't decide whether she wanted to hit it. Someone over here to my left yelled out. She tried to pull her hands back, but was already committed. Net serve there. Van Beck tips it back through. This one reset to the outside. Nice attack there. And the Raiders now starting to storm back into this one. Quick couple points in a row. They've got the lead down to 6. And that serve will be an ace as it split the back row defenders, and we'll see a timeout on the Southeastern side. Palm Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Palm Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games. Located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. This game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone Fiber Internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Back to the action here. Once again, if you are joining us, John Burton is on the call here tonight in Augusta. Evan Wagner up running the camera. Make sure you get into that live chat. Let us know who you're rooting for. Make sure to let all your friends know so they can tune in for the varsity contest. Should be a real barn burner of sorts. Two really, really great volleyball programs facing off in the varsity portion tonight. Raiders now working with a 5-point disadvantage. Kara Stevens sends that through, nicely dug up. Reset to the outside, partially blocked by Stevens. Wilcox punches it in the air. Rigg will send it through, but it's going to go out of bounds. Lead now down to 3. Southeastern had this thing, I believe, 22-12. Now the Raiders starting to might a little bit of a comeback. Rigg trying to attack this near corner. Nicely dug up there. That one will go out of bounds. Side out to the Suns here late. Just what the doctor ordered now, just 2 points away. Rigg serve towards the far sideline. This one set to the middle. That one dug up by Southeastern. Quick set to Stevens in the middle. She just taps it up and over. This one reset to the outside. Partially blocked at the net. Dug up by Wilcox. Phelps on the attack. Nice attack there, but dug up. Good defense on the Raiders side. High free ball sent through. Van Beck, bump set to Stevens. Both teams playing really nice defense here in this volley. That one goes through the hands of Wilcox, but Southeastern sticks right with it. Again, 23-18, 5-point Southeastern lead. We got a great volley going on here, but that's how it'll end. Miscommunication from Stevens and Van Beck in the front row. Results in the Raiders side out. That serve just dived right down. Nice play by Rigg to keep it up. That hit partially off the net. Stevens runs over. This one will be tapped through by the Suns. Another quick set to the outside, partially off the block, and Raiders up to 20. Threatening to steal this first set here late. Have definitely started to turn things up a little bit. Again, Southeastern had this thing out to, I believe it was 22-12 at one point. Rigg bump sets up. Phelps is forced to send the free ball over. This one set back to the outside. Block comes, partially blocked, but inbounds nonetheless. So now the lead down to just 2. Southeastern just needs 2 points. (23-21). This is a libero, back serve from Q&D. A little bit of miss hit there by Wilcox. Southeastern's able to stick with it. Free ball sent over by Stevens. This one to the outside once again will hit it into the net. So one more Southeastern point would be a set winner. Q&D will have to rally off 3 straight to tie up this game. Send us to a little bit of extra volleyball in set number 1. Of course, it is won by 2. This one set to the outside, partially off the block. Rigg, Phelps. I think Southeastern's going to get it over. They do. Nice hustle there by Phelps, Rigg, and Stevens, able to keep it alive. This one, Van Beck on the overpass, be tipped back down onto Kylie Putnam. So we'll have a late timeout here. We'll take a quick break as well. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
24-22 here in Augusta. This first set has got a lot more interesting as of late. Again, the Suns had this thing stretched out all the way to a 10-point lead, but Q&D went on a big run. Southeastern was able to score a point here and there. But now Q&D just 2 points away from tying this thing up. Southeastern side out would be a game winner. Of course, unless Q&D is able to get to 24 before that point. Serve here by Quincy Notre Dame, and it's going to fall on the ground. Rigg made a nice attempt at it. But it'll be a service ace for the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders. That one, Wilcox digs it up. Van Beck, Stevens tips it over. Raiders scramble a little bit, set to the outside. Wilcox will dig it up. This one reset to Stevens in the middle once again. Miss hit, and we got a tie game, folks. We'll have a little bit of extra volleyball here in set number 1. These teams locked at 24. Nice high serve there. Phelps digs it in the back row. Quick set to Stevens in the middle. That one partially goes off the block. Reset to the outside for the Raiders, and it'll be hit out of bounds. A late side out here for the Suns breathes a little bit of life. 25-24. Suns have the lead. It'll be Kara Stevens back to serve. Stevens serve. Nice short serve there. Dug up nicely by the Raiders. Free ball sent back through. Stevens will dig that one up. This one set to the outside for Phelps. Sends it into the back row. Again, one more Lady Suns point would be a set 1 winner. Dumped over by Van Beck. Nicely dug up by the Raiders. This one reset to the outside, partially off the blocks and inbounds nonetheless. Back tied at 25 after the side out by the Raiders. (25-25). Rigg digs that serve up in the back row. That one's free ball sent through by Wilcox. Nice attack there in the middle. Stevens is able to dig it up. This one reset for Phelps. Sends it to kind of a close shot near the net. Overpass sent back through. Phelps digs it up once again. And they're going to call a net violation there. So it'll be a side out for the Suns. Once again, just 1 point away from winning set number 1. And really, what was a set that was looking like it was tailing towards a bit of a blowout. This one to the outside, hit through the blocks. Nice dig up by Stevens. Rigg on the attack, drops it home. The Suns stick with it. Able to hang on to their big lead. They win set number 1, 27-25. Right here on TSSR. We'll get the set games, set number, whatever you want to call it, set wins. That's a good point. We'll get it set up there. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to mute my mic, run up to the scores table, and see if I can get some rosters figured out for Q&D. Again, we'll have a little bit, about 2 minute and 30-second break, and I'll hope to be back with you after I get these rosters sorted out a little bit. All right, sorry about that. Get this turned up a little more. There we go. Had to run down and get the JV rosters. They didn't put it on the rosters they were handing out at the front desk. They just put the varsity rosters. And I didn't have with the early start time, I didn't have time to get down here and get all the rosters sorted out like I usually would. But we have the Q&D rosters now, getting ready for set number 2. This one set to the outside for number 2. That's Kate Cormile there on the outside, picking up the kill for the Raiders. Brings back number 13, Taylor Ginnenbacher to serve. Raiders with the 1-point lead here early on in set number 2. Attack at the net by Stevens, and they're going to say a Raider was in the net there. Be a side out. Back to the Suns. They got things tied up at 1 apiece. Brings back Tegan Rigg to serve. Again, the set's set number 1, 27-25. That one dug up by the libero Felsler. This one reset to the outside. That's Sierra Thomas for the Raiders. Free ball sent back through by Phelps. This one high set in the middle. Stevens is there with the block. Rigg digs it up. Bump set to the outside for Phelps will go into the net. Be a side out back to the Raiders. Again, the Suns had a pretty big lead there in set number 1, but Raiders stormed right back, made things close down the stretch. This is Morgan Winking now, serving for Q&D. Let serve there, dug up by Wilcox in the back row. Bump set far to the near sideline from one side of the court to the other. Van Beck quit sets to Stevens in the middle. That one's going to be partially blocked. Free ball sent back through. Stevens, Van Beck's forced to just tip it over. This one set back to the outside and off the blocks and down. That was number 9. Sophia Tapiga. For Q&D, they got the 2-point lead early. Another nice serve there from Winking. Pass goes into the net. Stevens is able to pull it out. Nice play there. This one set back to the outside, partially off the net. Dug up, and Phelps was waiting for a little bit of help. None came. It'll be another point Raiders. 4-1 is the score. Again, Suns have the set lead. Another nice serve by Winking. Overpass. This one will be reset to the outside. Attack there. Dug up by Southeastern. Van Beck. Quick set to Stevens in the middle. Sends it through the block. Winking. Bump sets there. Number 21. That's Sierra Thomas sending it over. This one. Once again, Stevens on the attack. Nice defense played by the Raiders. Free ball sent back through. They'll set outside to Phelps this time. Partially off the block. Dug up by the libero Felsler. Reset, big block by Stevens in the middle. They're going to say it was actually off the net. That's 4 hits. It'll be a point and side out Southeastern. Brings back Jalen Van Beck to serve. This one quick set to the outside once again. That one for sure in the net. Van Beck picks up the service point. 4-3 is the score. Suns still trail by 1. This one quick set outside for Thomas, who will hit it off the net once again. And the Suns got this thing tied up here early on, 4 apiece. Van Beck serve. Fessler sends the pass into the net. Quick set to the middle. That one dug up by Wilcox. Van Beck, Stevens up over the block, can't get it to drop. This one outside for Thomas. Rigg is there. Van Beck bump set to Stevens. That one sent right back down. Both teams scrambling here a little bit. Kylie Putnam taps one through. This one reset to the outside once again, but it'll be a little bit long. Suns will take their first lead here in set number 2. Van Beck still serving. Fessler has to go to the ground to dig that one up. Set to the outside will go off the block and off Phelps' shoulder. Kill there will tie us up at 5. Brings back, once again, that's Laney Fessler, the libero for the Raiders. Nice serve there, just dropped right down. Phelps was able to stick with it. Kara Stevens will pick up the kill and take out the iPad. Oh, no. I believe that's the Raiders' iPad. Might be, I would say that's the Raiders' iPad there set up in the corner. Hopefully no damages. That thing didn't look like it was in a very good case. Nonetheless, Stevens picks up the kill and a side out for the Suns. That attack will find a home on the line. Ties us up back at 6. I'm still more concerned about this iPad. They still haven't got it set back up. There's a couple people over there working on it now. Brings in number 22 to serve for the Raiders. I believe that's Zoe Trimas, maybe? I'm trying to, the rosters that I got were handwritten, so I'm trying to decipher some handwriting. It'll be a service ace for the Raiders. Again, score is 7-6. Another serve here, Stevens sends the overpass, dump back down, but it's going to be in the net, so it'll be a side out. Suns keep things close. 7-7 is the score. Again, Southeastern took a big, I believe it was about 8-2 lead in set number 1 early on. Didn't really look back until things got a little bit later. But this one a lot more closely contested early on. That was Riley Smith in the middle trying to help that one through. Hits it into the tape, side out. Back to the Raiders. This is Tapuga. Rigg now sends it through, dug up in the back row. This one reset to the outside. Big attack comes, partially blocked. Phelps digs it up. Rigg will attack once again, dips it down the sideline and finds it home. Nice play there by Rigg. Took it from one sideline to the other. He's able to pick up the big point for the Suns, keep us tied at 8. Suns back with the serve. 8-8 is the score. This one set out. Big block there by Smith in the front row. Overpass. QD sends it back, but Suns right there. Rigg sends that one through. Pretty easy dig there. Reset to the outside. Phelps, and there's going to be a Sun in the net. Raiders take the 1-point lead off the side out. Brings back number 7, Ari Bueller. Now to serve for the Raiders. Her squad's got the 1-point advantage in a pretty closely contested set number 2. And that ball will fall between two Raiders. It'll be a side out back to the Suns. I believe that was Van Beck. She'll get a kill for that. Just tipped it through. Brings back Wilcox to serve for the Suns. Fessler pops it up to Cormile. Wilcox, that one. Van Beck's forced to send it over, and there's going to be a Raider in the net. Looked like call probably could have went either way. Kind of looked like Van Beck was in the net, a couple Raiders in the net. It's a point for the Suns nonetheless. Wilcox serve. Fessler's there. Free ball is sent through. Southeastern sets it up. Stevens hits it partially off the block, and it drops down. That'll be a kill for Kara Stevens. And now the Suns take a 2-point lead. Their biggest lead here in set number 2. Wilcox continues to serve. That one trying to spot it in that near corner. That one, big block by Stevens up front. Overpass, Stevens sends it back through. It's going to be tipped. And it'll be another point for the Suns. We'll have a timeout on the Raiders' side. We'll keep it here for this one. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and all of the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Again, if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure to get into that live chat. Let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching us from. I'm just getting some scheduling double-checked here. I know Southeastern tomorrow night will be traveling up to West Prairie to take on the Cyclones up there. Should be a pretty good game all in all. Cyclones have looked pretty good here recently. They were able to take a pretty tough Unity squad to 3 sets. Played all of them pretty close. But this Southeastern squad is definitely a different breed, I guess you could say. And I'm just double checking it here. I believe Q&D will be playing Macomb tomorrow, if I am not mistaken. That should be another great contest of volleyball. Yep, that one will be, Wednesday, 10:24. Q&D will take on the Bombers of Macomb. Another really tough volleyball program in the area. It's always interesting when Q&D comes to town. They make 2 trips up this direction. Want to take on the Suns. Next game, of course, against the Bombers. It's always interesting to see where this Raiders team is at. Rig will pick up the kill. 14-9, Southeastern with the 5-point lead. Things stayed pretty evenly contested for most of the first set. Southeastern starting to pull away a little bit here. This one set outside for Cormile. And a little bit of mishit by Phelps. Will be a side out for the Raiders. They hit double digits. Taylor Ginnenbacher now serving. That's number 13 on the Raiders side. Bump set out for Stevens, partially off the block. Fessler digs it up. This one set out for Cormile. Wilcox punches it in the air. Van Beck tried to make a play on it. Couldn't bring it back in bounds. Ginnenbacher remains with the serve. She picked up a service point there, looking to add on. That one bump set to Stevens, sends it down towards the far sideline. Fessler sends it back the other way. That's Sierra Thomas sending it back through. Stevens on the attack. Fessler sends it in to the back wall. I thought for a second that was going to get stuck up there, up in the rafters. It came back down eventually, though. 15-11 is the score. Short serve there by Rigg. Pass sent into the net. It's Cormile helping it through. Quick set to Stevens. Sends it off the block. Fessler hits it into the basketball hoop and then into the back wall. So it'll be out of bounds. Kill for Kerr Stevens. Lead remains at 5, 16-11. Suns looking to take set number 2 and win this JV contest. Van Beck, quick sec to Stevens, tips it up over the blocks. I believe that was Cormile digging it through. She'll come back through on the re-hit. Wilcox is there, quick set to Stevens once again. Cormile now partially blocked by Stevens, but no backside help. Ball falls. Lead down to 4, 16-12. Morgan Winking serves for the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders, and that serve will be an ace. Goes off the arms of Wilcox in the back row. Winking continues to serve, picks up the ace there, looking to add on. Wilcox is able to handle that one. Van Beck tips it back through. Couldn't really get a good set on that one. Reset to the outside, hit off the net, but it crawls over. This one sets to Phelps. Flat-footed shot. Raiders dig it up. Reset, partially blocked by Stevens. Wilcox, Van Beck trying to help it through. Can't do so, lead down to 2. Here's Winking serve. Van Beck quick sec to Stevens. That one going to be dug up. Fessler, that one free ball sent through. Van Beck, Stevens on the attack off Fessler. Hits it off the ceiling. Raiders able to stick right with it. Free ball sent back over. Riggs going to take it in the back row. This one, another bump set to Stevens. Nothing comes of it. This one to the outside. That's going to be blocked at the net. Be a kill for Sierra Thomas. Keeps the Raiders rolling right along. 16-15 now. Looking to tie things up. Again, we kind of saw this in the first set. Southeastern was able to get a pretty sizable lead. Lead here in set number 2 didn't quite crawl up to as much as it was in set number 1, but the Raiders just came right back and were able to make it close down the stretch. The passing error there off the ceiling will result in a side out back the Suns' way. Brings back Jalen Van Beck to serve. Fessler pops it up. This one set to the outside, hits it through the blocks, and they're going to call a replay. I think Suns will breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief there. It's a lot harder to tell that in the back row from up where the ref's sitting, but that looked like it was at least right on the line, if not in by a couple inches. They'll call a lift in the front row on the Raiders, so momentum now back to Suns' way. Van Beck continues to serve, 18-15. Short serve by Van Beck. Dug up there, bump set to the outside. Van Beck digs it up in the back row. Riggs sends it up for Phelps, who can't get it through. A little bit of a passing error from, I believe that was Rigg in the back row, trying to get it up for Phelps. Fessler now serves. Van Beck, bump set. Stevens, flat foot shot, sends it through. Fessler comes over and takes that one away in the back row. This will be attacked, partially blocked off the hands of Rigg and out of bounds. 18-17. Again, it seems like every time Southeastern gets somewhat of a lead, the Raiders answer right back, score a couple in a row, and tie things up or at least make things close. Stevens tips that one through. Raiders were ready for it. This one set to the outside, partially off the block. Rigg punches it up. Wilcox, nice dive there. Van Beck sends it through. Fessler digs it up on the Raiders' side. That one will be into the net. Late side out for the Suns. They maintain a 2-point lead. Brings back Kara Stevens to serve. Riley Smith checks in for Southeastern. Again, 19-17 is the score. Served arrow, be set to the outside. That'll be hit into the net. That was Sierra Thomas out there. So Suns first team to 20. Kara Stevens still back with the serve. Stevens serve, dug up by Winking. This one set out, partially off the block. Stevens digs it up in the back row. Van Beck out for Phelps, flat foot shot, trying to send it towards the near corner. Couldn't get it there, and they're going to call a double hit. So it'll be another service point for Kara Stevens. 21-17. That serve will be set out and into the net once again. That was Sierra Thomas. Sends it into the net. So now the Suns 5-point lead here late. 21-17. Stevens remains on the serve, sends another one Winking's direction. This one's just going to have to be tipped through. Phelps digs it up. Van Beck sends it back over. Nothing comes of it. Raiders were ready. Reset to the outside, and Rigg made a nice try at it. But it'll be a kill on the outside and a side out back for Quincy Notre Dame. Brings back number 21. That's Sierra Thomas. Again, Thomas had a couple hitting errors in the front row. She comes back to serve. This one, Putnam will send it off the tape. So the Raiders once again trying to make things interesting late. Again, if Southeastern is able to win this set number 2, they will be the winner of the JV game. If the Raiders are able to pull it off, we'll be heading towards a set number 3. That was Smith sending it over. This one set to the middle and down. That one almost came up here on the stage, up towards me. Caught a piece of the stage before it got all the way up here. I believe that was Winking on the kill once again for the Raiders. 22-20. And man, this Raiders team just will not go away. Southeastern had a 5-point lead just moments ago, but able to shave this thing down to just 2. And again, Southeastern in set number 1, I believe, led 22-12. And the Raiders came back. The final score of set number 1 was 27-25. So again, a little bit of trouble putting away Q&D in the JV contest so far. Once again, if you are watching us, make sure to get into that live chat as we're getting ready for, or could be getting ready to wrap things up here if the Raiders can, or Southeastern can close out the Raiders in set number 2. Sierra Thomas still back serving. Van Beck sets to Stevens in the back row. Hits that one through. This one will be set. That one hit through and through the hands of Van Beck. That one made it up here towards me. That was number 7, Ari Bueller on the attack and the kill. (22-21). Raiders looking to tie things up. Thomas still with the serve. Van Beck sets out for Smith, trying to tip it over, and they're going to say it landed in bounds. Side out for the Suns. Now just 2 points away from winning set number 2. Brings back Taylor Phelps to serve. That one through the hands there. I didn't quite catch the number who that was on the Q&D side, but this game will now be in the hands of Taylor Phelps. We'll see if she can get things done. Southeastern needs just 1 more point. Set to the outside, block comes off the net, 4 hits, and a Suns winner here in Augusta. 25-21 is the final score in set number 2. 27-25 was the final score in set number 1. 2 pretty closely contested sets, but Southeastern able to come away with both of them. So we'll get ready to get things shipped off to the varsity contest. Again, if you are new here, we, of course, have the varsity game stream that'll be on right after this one. It'll be about a 15-minute break or so as both teams get ready to warm up. But to access that game stream, just go down to our YouTube channel, and I'll get the stream posted here. I don't think it's on there quite yet, but I'll get it posted here as soon as we get off air. So we'll get ready to get things warmed up for a varsity contest. Again, make sure to tell your friends this is going to be a good one. I have a feeling 2 really, really great volleyball programs set to face off here in Augusta. So for John Burton and Evan Wagner running the camera, this has been TSSR Game Time Live's presentation of Southeastern Suns Volleyball. We hope to catch you for the varsity portion of tonight's contest. Have a good night, everybody.